Hello!
Hello there!
Citizens of the universe.
And the internet, welcome to Talks About Movies with,
Yes, we're with
us.
With us, yeah, that's the title.
It is us, Movies with Us.
Movies with us, talking about them.
If you don't know who us are, then...
Yeah, well, we could introduce ourselves if it matters. My name is Jad, and your name being...
Ross.
Yes. So, we're off to a great start. This is what happens in showbiz. You people don't fucking appreciate it.
The thing is, I'm going to edit all that out and just leave in you going, like, this is showbiz, you didn't fucking...
Fucking yeah, the showbiz, you don't fucking... Anyway,
So, this is something new we're going to try.
Yeah, we're gonna be the like millionth movie talk review show thing that you've ever like. You'll stumble across us when you're looking for the thing you really want to watch when you're looking for someone.
But instead you get us. It's just like when you try to get a pirated movie online and it's just some kind of bootleg version.
Yeah,
that's what this is.
Like you appreciate remember those days when you couldn't just pirate like a good copy of something. Well, yeah, all you fuckers who can't wait for the movie to come out, like you watch some Chinese recording. Like it's kind of like that. You appreciate it because you get to see it for everyone else and spoil it for them. So we're going to be reviewing.
We've both grown up watching.
We've both grown up watching.
It's a movie that's very dear to us.
So yeah. So what we'll be discussing is The Road to El Dorado, classic DreamWorks film from the year 2000.
I believe it was the year 2000. Wait, I do have specification.
Oh, you've got the paraphernalia for the information.
So, The Road to El Dorado, according to my notes, came from DreamWorks in the year 2000. It was directed by a whole lot of people.
Wait a second!
Yes.
Sorry, like just before we start, I don't know, you know, loosen up, get some blood sugar. Would you maybe care for some gummy bears?
Why do you have these gummy bears?
You know, like I don't like eating a lot of candy. You have to watch your calories.
Yeah,
you know?
that's me. I will 100% have some loose gummy bears.
Yeah, just take
a red and black because red and black are the best flavors.
I've got the same.
Alright.
Cool.
These taste interesting.
They do. I mean, look, I got it from a friend of mine. He was eating them and he was like, hey, do you want some before your big show? And I was like, yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Anyway, we're talking about movies.
Yeah, movies.
Yeah.
So yes, that movie.
Yeah.
We all know the road to blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah. Yeah, no, that's my favorite.
So as I said, Road to El Dorado, it came out in 2000. It was a DreamWorks film, and yeah, it was directed by a whole lot of people. A whole
like 4 million people direct this movie.
If you want to find out, we're not going to tell you. You want to find them out? Just, like read a fucking book. Go to what?
Yeah, you could always use the jeez.
No, what? Yes, so it was directed by a whole lot of people, and it was also written by I forget someone's on.
Oh, like some guy named Terry. I mean, there was some guy named Terry involved. You can trust if you go a writer named Terry, it's gonna be good stuff. Yeah.
No, but yes, I did grow up watching the El Dorado. I remember being very little. My brother was like, "Hey, little bro, I rented this movie about essentially two kind of white dudes from Spain, which is already strange, go and colonize a dystopian or like kind of forgotten city." If you want to put it that way.
Yeah, no. You could say that these characters are affirmatively in the movie.
Yeah. Yes. No. So essentially, the El Dorado, you got two.
I mean, like they're in it. So
you have two characters. You have Miguel and you have Tulio, who are essentially they're kind of like street kind of hustlers in.
They're
Spain.
They're con men, but it's like played off as being endearing. Like they're not stealing from like peasants or anything. It's like. Just like gangs.
Yeah, they're stealing from other street hustlers. So if anything, they're hustling the hustlers. I mean, it kind of works.
Yeah.
People have often said that he looks like a bit of a taller, rounded Tulio.
Yeah, people who are like blind and try to squint, so they kind of look like Miguel, who's the blonde one. If you see.
Yeah, so the blonde one is Miguel.
I mean, I can understand the body, but look at this. This is clearly like an exact replica. If you put those diodes from Avatar on me,
they're very thin. We were at a festival once. And our friends were just, for lack of better words, were not having a great time.
No. Someone gave them bad gummy bears.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, so we decided we're going to reenact this movie. So essentially just went, I am Miguel.
And I am Tulio.
And they call us Miguel and Tulio. Yeah,
great line.
And then, great line, but we had to repeat that about 25 times because these fuckers found it so fucking hilarious. So
They did.
So then we realized, hang on, we actually both love this movie, and we thought that's also like, let's speak about this. So yeah, so as we were saying, got two kind of street hustlers, and then in the one hustle, Miguel, I think, gets a map to El Dorado, which if you don't know is the city of gold.
Yes, he's based on an old urban legend. The Spanish
Inquisition.
No, you never expect them, you know. But like, yeah, these people. There's a legend from like Spanish history. The city made of gold.
Yeah, so it's hidden city made of gold, and Miguel's more like kind of a little more loose, kind of like free spirited, like I'm gonna go have some fun, kind of like you go get it character.
And Tulio's just like he's cynical. But he's realistic. But it plays off well because like they sort of benefit that because like when Miguel wants to like. He'll just go like play guitar and like not see that three like Spanish guards want to like stab him with a spear because he's just having a great time. And these two will be like, hey, maybe don't do that. Whereas
there's one great scene where when they're busy hustling and it's done because essentially they've been using loaded dice to keep winning. So then the other people are like, no, we're gonna use my dice this time. And I was all like really intense. So Julia starts like rolling the dice and Miguel just takes his uke or like the loot, whatever. He's just like.
Yeah, and he starts playing it to add to the intensity, like for us.
It just has like this face, like looking at the camera, like this is intense. It's a very kind of self-aware moment. That was a very
no.
Cortez shows up at the beginning.
Yeah, he's a real guy.
Cortez,
It is. I'm sure he wasn't like a 7-foot bodybuilder, like he was like a monk or something.
And ironically, that was the Spanish Inquisition, if I'm wrong. I think.
Probably are, but like.
They were either part of it or inspired it or were inspired.
Look, there's definitely heavy overtones of like Christian zealotry because like Cortez is established as being like this very pure and radical guy, but like I think he was in real life. I don't know. I've never been. I mean, we didn't learn Spanish history in class. We learned like our own history, which is considerably less interesting.
I mean, the South Africans did some bad things. If you want to know about that, read a fucking book.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, don't do it again. Like,
no,
don't
do it. Yeah, that was bad. Like, slap on the wrist to you.
Yeah, no, don't do it.
That's
not cool.
It's
not cool. Yeah. If you don't know, it's kind of what happened was it's kind of like World War II. Like
moving on. The movie also opens up from a brilliant song about the city farm. Good old Mr. John.
By Sir John.
Sir Elton John.
Yeah.
No, but it's a great song.
By Taron Egerton.
Yes, by Taron Egerton. By him. Yes. Yeah. Because he's Elton John. As a kid, again, like this movie speaks a lot to my childhood. I remember it a lot, and that song was awesome. I used to sing it all the time, even though I didn't know the fucking words. But yeah, so anyway, so these guys they get involved in a street hustle, and they win a map to El Dorado, and then it comes out that they've been using loaded dice, and the other hustlers are none too pleased.
Yeah. So like basically, and then it's kind of like that scene from Aladdin where he's like,
running through the
bazaar. Stealing bread?
He stole something, and then he's they start running through the streets, being chased by guards, and it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, it is great.
It is so like sounds like this dramatic. It's like dramatically funny, and they play against each other. There's this intense things happening, but they just keep cracking jokes, and they just keep. What I love about these characters, they just tune the shit out of each other.
They do. It's very much. It's from that era of animated films where they made the film for everyone, for the whole family. So there's stuff for the adults. There's deep stuff for the adults, and there's also stuff for the kids. So like it's not like trying to be a pussy and like it's a movie for 5-year-olds, because 5-year-olds will laugh at farts and stuff, and you don't want to watch it.
There's the scene where like as a kid it's not that funny, but like I find it more funny as an adult when they're like busy like pretending to fight. He goes like, "You have a slow and painful death." He pulls out a knife. He goes, "Not that one," and then pulls out another one. It's just like,
I will give you the honor of a quick and painless death. But not with that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this is also in the day where, like, after, like, Robin Williams was in Aladdin, like, A-list celebrities started being in these animated movies because they could do well, because they were good movies and they did well.
This has Kenneth Branagh, I think.
Yes, Sir Kenneth.
Is he a Sir as well?
Yeah, he's a Sir.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a fucking
And
Sir.
this time he's not teaching fake magic. He's not a...
Or he's not like he's not like in Frankenstein, just like going to the camera like woohoo, like.
Was he in Frankenstein as well?
Yeah, he directed and he was Frankenstein in that one now.
Wow.
Yeah, as we were saying, the back and forth. There's one great scene where they're trying to distract the guards from the fact they've done something wrong before the guards are chasing them.
Yeah,
so they have a fake fight.
Yeah.
And then at one point, they're doing the fight to distract them so they can escape. And then like, I think it's Miguel who's like, you fight worse than my sister, and then Tulio's like, I fought your sister, take it as a compliment.
Ah, you fight like my sister. I fought your sister. That's a compliment.
I mean, like, that's cut and dry, like, that's for, that's for the parents. The parents are sitting there like, oh, hey!
But yeah, so they have this like fake fight. Essentially, they go on this like long run. They escape the guards, and then they get trapped in some barrels of water for some amount of time.
Yeah, the barrels get loaded onto Cortez's ship, and he's off to conquer the New World. Yeah. And then they're like trying to get out, and then someone puts on... They put
some
like
other barrels.
Another container on top of it, and they're like, we're gonna bust down and run so no one notices us. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then it just cuts the night, and they're still going 3. And
it's like, never been doing that for
like hours. Yeah, exactly. Like at a certain point, you start getting claustrophobic, but they're still like 3. It's just
they just keep like. I mean, like that. If that's a lesson you want to learn from it, just never fucking give up.
Never give up. Yeah, I mean they keep doing it. Yeah, and the great thing is when they actually get it off, they come up and everyone knows they're there, and the ship's
so essentially, they take off the container on top, and then they're like 3, and they bounce like so enthusiastically in front of like Cortez's crew, and they're just like, oh, they start trying to go back down into the barrel.
Yeah, and then they're just like, well, we'll just go back here, like that's gonna help, which is great. Like,
so then they get thrown to Cortez, and he's just like, something conquer, I'm better than you, and they get thrown into
because
jail.
of the Jesus.
Yeah, because of the Jesus.
Yeah,
and they get thrown into jail. I'm just reading the notes.
They basically go to. They escape the ship with a horse.
With a horse, because the horse helps them escape, because this is the most intellectual, promising horse I've met.
It knows like the English language and understands inflection.
And correct me if I'm wrong, it was actually Cortez's horse.
It was his horse, yeah.
It's Cortez's horse. I mean, maybe that's why he like, because later in the film, they followed him. Maybe he never steal a man's fucking horse, you know? I mean...
Yeah.
If any of you guys have horses, you mean let us know if that's like a no-no.
Yeah, no, I know horse people. They would, you know, yeah.
Oh, is it?
And then they escape the ship. They land in the New World, and then like because they've got the map to El Dorado. They're like, well, let's go find it. It's full of gold. I mean, if we get it, we could go back to Spain and be rich as hell. And and then So the 2 guys on the horse, nothing weird happens between them. There's a kid's movie.
Well, yeah, but they eventually, they're starting at sea for a while, and they make it to the island finally. And then whilst on the island, Miguel realizes, hey, this is something on the map, and Tulio's like, you still have the fucking map.
Yeah, you saw the map, like,
he landed in a barrel of water. He was fully submerged in water for at least a good few seconds.
Yeah, it's
and this map is still, like, fine. Like, it's an animation, so maybe we shouldn't, like...
It's supposed to...
It is an animated movie. It's supposed to kind of be like
suspension of disbelief. I mean, they have a musical number later on, so don't take it that hard.
They're blazing their trail. I mean, that's not innuendo. That's not innuendo. So this film, as well, fuck me. Like, as a child, you're not going to pick this up. But the amount of adult innuendos, it is chock-a-block full.
Yeah.
And some of them aren't even that well hidden. Like...
No, it's not. I mean, like, there's... Okay, so like, we'll get to that part.
Yeah, we'll get but like, just watching as I don't know, I'm like, oh, wow, okay, that's... so Miguel convinces Tulio they're gonna go on this show. There's a whole musical number. A monkey steals their clothes. It's fucking hilarious. And they make it. They think they're getting something. They fall off a cliff and they make it to this big rock.
Yeah.
El Dorado was Spanish for
great big rock.
And then so they make it here, and then Tulio is just like, don't worry, have my shirts.
Exactly, because he's just like he's like, you're a fucking idiot. You know, like
this whole process just to get to a bigger rock, and he's just like, oh, surely not.
Yeah.
But the El Doradians, if that's what you would call them.
Yeah, the Dorados.
The Dorados.
Yeah, the LEDs. The LEDs rock up. And then because there's a gateway through a waterfall, you know, like when the waterfall, and they like take them, and now the big twist is, they find El Dorado, and it's
it's actually a real place, so like even the horse is like, fuck me, this is insane.
Exactly.
And so they get welcomed into El Dorado, and they're just like, oh god, like we're really gonna die, and somehow these El Dorado, these LEDs think that they are the gods that created the city. So essentially, this is your premise for the movie. It's these 2 suspiciously white Spanish guys that make it to the city of gold and pretend to be their gods. This is
exactly. They basically play their biggest con. It's like the biggest con of their career. It's sort of like
it's like con. You actually just pointed out that like parallel to me. They're con men in Spanish.
They're con men.
This is like their biggest con they've ever done.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why they're able to like sort of you know, because they're charming men. They're able to charm their way into it.
They very much are. Like it's.
Yeah. And then the thing is now the issue that comes into play is that there's the chief of El Dorado who is like super peaceful and he's like, oh, the gods are here. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then there's this high priest, Sekil Khan.
Sekil Khan.
That's a great name.
God, Sekil Khan. He's a great villain as well, man. Like he's full on just like this guy like from the get. It's not like a villain that like starts off and then like I'm gonna pretend to be like whatever. Well, he does pretend a bit, but he's not. It doesn't gradually get worse. Like from the get go, it's like this man is like fucking evil.
Yeah, no, he's super.
He's already like as soon as the gods arrive, he's just like, okay, like right, who are we gonna sacrifice now? And then Julia just like, whoa, Denise, that's
a bit intense.
let's not do that one.
Yeah, and like the thing is, you know, because he's just like, oh, the gods here. I can't wait for the rapture to happen.
No, this guy clearly wants to die. Like,
yeah.
It's like, yes, rapture.
And that's the one thing about him. Like this guy is wearing. He's wearing a bones on his face, and like he can just do magic. He can make things appear, and then everyone plays it off like it's. Well, I mean, like the Eldoradans are maybe used to it.
Yeah, but like these are two con men
from Spain, a developed country with like Christian iconography, as in like there's no such thing as magic.
They're watching actual like shapes and like apparitions appear like, in front of them, and they're just like,
It's sort of like taking, it's sort of like going to a laser show, and like, but he's doing it like with his hands.
Yeah, and also,
like,
and this is like what, like the 1800s sometime. Like this is like he didn't have projectors hidden in the corner. Like,
exactly. So it's like.
And these guys are just fully okay with it.
They're not okay with it. They're just like, they're like, it's weird.
They don't acknowledge it though.
No, they're like, this is weird.
This is happening now.
Yeah, like you're a strange guy, but it's like it's crazy. It's like he's making snakes appear.
I'd react a bit, but then again, they thought Dorado was crazy, and so like, I guess anything is maybe it's that.
Yeah, maybe.
No, but also, but like even. Like it's like a parallel like in Harry Potter, like you got these magical wands and an evil wizard. But even in the world of Harry Potter, when they go to that fortune telling stuff, they're just like, this is a bit fucking far fetched. Exactly. And it's that kind of parallel. So even though they found the city of gold, where this guy's literally making ghost snakes appear, and they're not even like, holy shit, magic is real. They're just like, okay, great, cool.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's just like a minor inconvenience, but. Yeah, so basically most of the movie from this point on is essentially...
It's them playing this con almost.
Playing this con, because they say, like, they go to the chief, and it's just great, because, like, they're
like... They get given everything they want. Like, there's like
as a modern audience, we're just like, this is such clear bullshit, and they're just, like, riffing to this guy, like, yeah, we're gods, we need to ascend again, but we need the tribute of the gold. And you put it on a boat because we'd like to. What does he say? We'd like to take off horizontally. And you're not looking. We'll shoot up to the sky.
Yeah, no, it's like okay, they go because obviously they want to take this gold and they know they have to get out here eventually. So they go, okay, we need a tribute. So what we'll do is we'll take a gold on a boat, and we'll go in a horizontal manner, and then once we get past the waterfall, we'll go just vertically up.
Because we're going to ascend kind of in a horizontal pattern at first, and then we're going to go vertical as we get further out to sea.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember the exact line, but it's...
that is basically it.
Yeah. And they get given all this shit, and then they befriend a poor young lady who was about to be murdered.
Yeah,
this is something
she's so poor. She's so...
What's her name? Chell. We should not be leaving out this character.
Should call it Chell Dorado. yeah. Okay. No, she's like, I mean, look. Kids, look, she's drawn together quite well. I mean, as we're talking about it, there's something for everyone. Like, but even for those, you'll watch an animated movie from the 90s, 2000s, and like, there's some adult jokes, but it's still fairly subtle. But there's two in particular that were just like, if the kid's like 12, he'll get it. Like, it's fucking obvious.
It's like, are you? So, firstly, she's gonna get, like, arrested, so then the Sekil Khan dude is like, God, she stole. Like, dude, like, how do you want us to kill her? And they're just like, no, we will spare the lady.
They're like, dude, relax.
And then, she becomes their personal slave. And off the bat, she knows straight away, these others are not gods.
Yeah, they're just two white Spanish guys.
Everyone else is like, this is a god, and she's just like, no. But because they saved her life, she's like, hey, look, I'm not going to tell anyone. Like,
but you gotta let me, because it sucks being a woman here.
Yeah,
because, I mean, if you see what she's wearing, she's basically wearing two strings and a cloth that are like, you know, it's very suggestive. It's kind of like I know what her job is.
Yeah, I mean, you know. But yeah, so she goes like, take me
Drives
with
a
you, and
porcupine.
like, so she realizes, okay, they're gonna fuck off with all this gold. She's like, yeah, no, like, take me with you, and then like, wait.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
Oh yeah, it is. And then it's like, okay, sure, you're not gonna tell us, and if anything, that she can now help them.
Yeah, here's the scenes that, like, I guess if there was like a parental like a parental board that would be against it, there's two scenes that I could see them like being like, no, you know, because there's like, the first scene is when she's like, you guys need me to get the gold, and to sort of prove the point, she throws 2 pieces of gold at them. But the thing is, she's wearing a loincloth, right? I'm not a satchel, it's just...
No, it's like, it's this like piece of cloth like this big.
Yeah, and she's got like a bra on, but she puts her hand behind, and then she goes like this. And it's like, these aren't pants she's wearing. We just need to establish.
Yeah,
that
it's extremely loincloth. It's like picture Tarzan's loincloth. It's less than that.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a line where Miguel's like, where was she keeping them?
Well, then I suppose that means you'll want these back?
How'd you get those? Where was she keeping them?
And at that point, you're kind of like, I'd like to know.
I don't think I'd like to know, dude. Like,
yeah, because I mean, look, that gold is pretty clean. I mean, that's something, I guess. But like, yay.
the second scene.
Yeah, so basically, as through like the characters' arcs from this point on, while they're doing this con, obviously, is that Miguel wants to the free spirited one, Miguel, the blonde dude. Yeah, look at this, look at that hippie motherfucker.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, he wants to like stay there because, like, you know, he likes the people. The people are super, like, and he helps them sort of become. We don't have to be afraid of the gods. We can all live in peace.
Yeah, no, because like some like the second con is like, oh, you're gonna like give a wrath, and all the citizens are afraid. So Miguel goes around being like, please, don't be afraid.
Yeah, I mean the chief, his name's Chief Tannenbach. I looked this up.
Tannenbach, yeah.
And then is Sekil Khan. They sort of play the two polar opposites. So Tannenbach's all about peace. Tannenbach, whatever, Tannenbaum. Good old Tannenbro.
Good old Tannenbaums,
yeah. And then Sekil Khan's like, no, fuck everyone. Like, I'm the priest, so I'm cool because I can do magic. Look, he can do fucking magic. I don't know what more he wants.
Like, maybe because he's the priest, he judges who does the wrong, who does the right, and who's gonna
go. It's a Frollo from Hunchback kind of situation.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
And then these like the peaceful chief, and he sees Miguel like being like friends with the kinders.
And then because they do have a positive influence on the people, because they're obviously like they were all expecting, I guess, the gods to be like, bleh, but they're like, oh my god, you know, we can all live in harmony. Kind of
like the gods they're like, we can actually. Because pretty cool guy.
Yeah, because like halfway through, Tannenbach is like he knows that they're fake eventually, and he doesn't care.
It doesn't explicitly say, but I do know towards the end there is a scene where like Tannenbaum is just like
he's like to err is human, and you're like, he knows, but he's cool. Like
he's cool because these guys have actually done a lot of good for them.
Yeah, they've influenced the people to be nice and stuff, and so yeah, and then like, you know, like it's kind of weird. Like Sekil Khan, he can do magic, but he's kind of dim. Like he still thinks they're gods until the end when he sees them bleed, because a god can't bleed them mortal.
So then he's like, but anyway, you say the second.
The second dodgy scene with Chell, like, good old Chelly, like, man. I mean, she's a Latina Mesoamerican, firstly, so like, you know, it's like, you know, like you expect these people to be like, you know, to talk with a sort of native Mesoamerican accent, but like this chick is like, welcome to Dorado. You want to? That's probably a problematic thing for me to do. Like, I see you're right. Yeah, but like, I'm just referencing the movie. Snowflakes can calm down.
So in the movie, Tulia Miguel, like, this girl is clearly attractive. So off balance to both of us, because like, you know, she's part of our escape plan, and if you know we get involved. Like, they're smart enough even in the 1800s to know if we get involved in this shit, it's gonna cause issues. So Miguel and Tulia are like, cool, no, truce. Neither of us are gonna go for her.
Yeah.
So of course one of them go for her. Yeah. Miguel actually genuinely
he doesn't do. He doesn't seem to, like, he thinks he's hot, but he doesn't really care. You know, it's just
he's like, oh, I'm gonna go like play some basketball.
Like, you know, he's look, you know, he's like she's not the only concubine. It rhymes. It's a kids' movie. Rhymes with porcupine. He's not the only rhymes with porcupine there. Chell's not the only one. I'm sure Miguel, in the scenes where you don't see him because he's off gallivanting in town, he's gallivanting on the town, if you know what I mean. He's on. Anyway.
Well, he's actually busy inventing basketball as well.
Yeah, he's like, hey, this is kick a ball, is it?
Okay. So the second innuendo scene.
So like Tulio and Shell end up hooking up, and then Sekil Khan wants to talk to them about like, hey, why don't you guys like violent and stuff? You know, I was looking forward to it because like it gets me hard or whatever. And
That's really intense.
yeah, and then like it's a scene. He's walking to their temple to where Miguel and Tulio are staying. Tulio and Shell are in there. Making out is what it's implied, but it's also implied something else because you just hear. You judge for yourself. I'm gonna try and make the sound that you hear before you see them. Okay.
Maybe not for that long, but
Yeah, not for that long, but I mean.
a good like second.
That maybe sounds like making out like it would, you know, like what the parents tell their what the parents tell their tell their kids how they're making out.
Making out.
But like that's what you hear, and then you see her pop up because it's like they were making out on the ground.
And
But
he
the thing
pops
is,
up.
he pops up, but like she pops up. Here's her head over here, and his head pops up over there.
Whoa! My lords.
And he's got an expression on his face that is like, look, we've both made out with some beautiful girl. We're not bragging.
I've never had a kiss.
A kiss that made me have that face.
Yeah.
That's what kids, that's what we call make-out face. Like, yeah. And it's like, she's like, oh, Sekil Khan's coming. What if he sees me here with a god? And then he's like, lucky god.
High priest. What's he gonna think if he finds one of the gods like this with me?
Lucky God?
You know, and it's just like,
Again,
wow.
they're like charming men. So back in Spain, they've definitely made out with some girls.
yeah, that's the thing. Like,
So like you wouldn't have a face like that.
But here's the thing.
Probably
Think of
kiss.
I don't know whoever's watching this who's like been with a supermodel or something. Have you ever even you're just making out, like, right? I don't think anyone's ever stopped making out and be like, ha, you know?
Yeah.
And again, as I say, her head comes up here.
His
head comes up there.
Make whatever connection you want.
It's open to
See,
interpretation.
it's a film. I know James Liebach once said that a director makes as many films as people watch it.
Yes. Yeah.
I
sure.
half-lied. I made up James Liebach, but
James Liebach.
I don't know who that's a name.
Okay.
But some
We're
people.
trying to inform the people here.
No, okay. Well, there was an actual.
line.
Okay, this is not right. There was an actual poet. I was told about this. I don't remember the poet's name, but the poet said, "I have written as many poems as people have read them," essentially implying that every person's will read this poem, but to every person it'll be a different poem. Good for arts, interpretations, whatever. And then same will go with films. So.
That's a very interesting. It's a very interesting statement, I must say. But it is true. But again, like I thought this was like movie talk with two movie guys, not poems. Poems now.
Is
Poems
anyway, So after this horrifically innuendous scene, I'm a bit actually hazy about it. Miguel goes on the village and he's like, hey.
No. Look.
He's like, hey, kids.
Miguel is later on he sees that they're hooking up, Chell and Tulio, and he's not upset about that, about the actual fact that they made an agreement and he broke it, and he sort of says like, well, Tulio clearly is quite selfish.
I thought we're in this together, so.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but now also concurrent to this, I forgot what is it? They play like basketball.
Oh no, they and they send something to Shilbaba for something. Shilbaba.
Yeah, there's this giant wormhole of water, like it's just a whirlpool.
It's quite terrifying. It's just you got this amazing city of literal gold. And it's like, oh man, this is the gold temple. This is the monastery. This is the death pool.
Yeah, this is the maelstrom to hell where we throw unwanted people and
unwanted Chelsea.
Yeah, there's no special needs centers in El Dorado. It's just you can't walk so good. Like Shibalba.
To Shibalba!
But then they somewhat invent basketball, and then somehow having an armadillo. Because if they don't win this game, they'll know they're not gods. Because apparently gods have to be good at everything. I mean, like, I've heard about one god. Trust me, he's not a perfect guy. He's got some fucking flaws. But apparently these gods have to be great at it all. So.
Yeah. Like the thing is, I mean, Well, I guess that's the theory. If you're a god, you're infallible. You can do no wrong.
Yeah, so they gotta play this game and they're losing. So Charles like, hey, use this armadillo instead of a ball, and somehow that just makes them stop.
Yeah, no, the armadillos
Because
become their friend.
you still gotta aim it like through. It's like basketball with a hole.
It's like
you still gotta
Disney.
aim it. So how does the armadillo can't move itself in the air? So I never understood.
Yeah, no, it's like it's the Disney trope of the animal sidekick that helps you throughout the plot. You know, the animal sidekick can do anything. Like, you know, even a movie like even a movie like The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is again it's just outrageous as a Disney movie should be, but is sort of very grounded in a sort of realistic way.
Yeah.
But the animal sidekick is like the comic relief who will just like whoop something out of nowhere. It's called like inner space in cartoon logic.
Oh yeah.
You know, when someone can just
so.
do anything.
Yeah, it's like
But,
Mr.
yeah.
Bean's jacket.
Sort of, yeah. So the armadillo pretends to be the ball, and it just jumps through the hoops itself, and then they win. But the thing is, then it fucks off before they have to get the winning goal, and Miguel and Tulio actually have to try and get this thing into the hoop, because again they're playing like 15 warriors who are like mega, because like Sekal Khan's like, well, you're gods, you can play against 15 warriors. And then they're trying to get the ball in, and then Miguel gets injured, like he gets cut in his eyebrows. Sekal Khan sees this, and gods don't bleed. You know,
So now he's none too pleased at that.
Yeah, he's not too pleased, and
He's just like, they were lying. So every time he wanted to like execute, and he wasn't allowed to, he's got some pent up execution in him.
yeah, no, he has.
And at this
sort of
stage,
been-
Miguel and Tulio have like, so the original plan to go on the boat, they've like split up now, and Miguel decides he's actually going to stay. I think.
Yes, that happens, but
Is that before?
No, that's afterwards.
No, that's before Sekal Khan loses his shit, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's after the game though.
It's start the conflict is there.
Yeah.
Miguel is upset at Tulio for betraying him with Chell, but now they tell Sekal Khan to fuck off, because they're like, look, we're sick of violence and stuff. And Sekal Khan is like, these oaks are frauds.
Yeah.
So if we international viewers, oaks is a colloquial South African term for
people.
It's like dude.
These guys, yeah.
This guy. So Sekal Khan, again, I don't know why he was keen for gods to go, oh, this man could clearly have just killed everyone himself.
Yeah, like he clearly doesn't need anyone's permission.
Yeah, because because like he's like, gods don't bleed, cuts himself to sort of prove it dramatically, and then he heals it. So I'm like, what the hell is this like?
No, like he basically could have been a god. He could have just given himself superpowers. Been like, yeah, I'm your god now.
Yeah.
Because like these people believe two white dudes. So if he literally went, and as a priest, if he went, you know,
They think these
God spoke to me, and he says I'm in charge now, they would believe him.
That's the thing.
So
because
easily.
That's the thing that was weird about this movie, man, is that he can do fucking magic. All they do is like say some words, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's so amazing." I'm like, this man made snakes come out of his fucking hands, you know?
Like he can do some serious shit.
Yeah.
And then once he finds out they're not gods, he just goes and does it anyway. Like it's stopping you.
Exactly.
Like, all you had was some bad self-confidence and needed a little kick. Like that's all you.
Exactly. Like what the hell? The thing is, so he wants to kill these two people, and like before, he's just kicking the elderly into the whirlpool of death.
Yeah.
But like, and he could just like stab them, but he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring to life a giant stone jaguar.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like a sort of voodoo doll, but I'm the voodoo doll because I'm gonna move around like a jaguar, and then it's gonna do what I do, and it's gonna go fuck up El Dorado, and kill them.
Yeah. So the stone jaguar is just like raw.
Which is that's probably my favorite. It's one of my favorite action scenes.
No,
I guess.
it's an intense scene, like for like kids animation, like this.
Yeah.
The stone jaguar starts fucking shit up.
Yeah, and it's still a light-hearted movie, I've got to say. Like,
No, it is.
Yeah, because there's a scene where
We're making it sound a lot worse than it is.
the jaguar steps on a guy. Well, it almost steps on a guy, and the guy's like, "I'm okay," Dwah, and then he's like, "I'm still okay." Like that man is dead.
I'm okay! I'm still okay!
No, like
Yeah.
Stop lying to yourself.
And the point is, the jaguar chases them to the whirlpool, the Miguel Tulio to the whirlpool of death, and then Sekal Khan comes there, and then they use their, even though they're fighting, they still use they have a natural banter that they can use to distract people, so they pretend,
Yeah.
so the
whole thing in the beginning, maybe that they brought it back. So it's like-
yeah, exactly, because they use their banter to pretend to fight to distract people who want to fuck them up.
Yeah, so they do the same thing essentially.
You're not a god? You lied to me? How dare you?
Hey, it was his stupid plan.
Oh.
My plan was that we should lie low. But your plan was to run off and be all, oh, look at me, I'm a god.
That's not true.
Yeah, and then
And it's cool because they're still kind of arguing this one with both of them. Even though they're arguing, they kind of click. Hey, we need to switch this kind of bit on. Like we need to.
yeah,
We need to like distract this guy. Like, and they just kind of both click on that together.
exactly, and then they knock him out.
Fine. Okay.
All right.
And then he brings back the Jaguar, and the Jaguar is now gonna jump on them, but like because it's a giant rock monster, they jump out the way. It jumps on Sekil Khan. Well, on top, like not on top of him because he's on like the sacrificial pier.
Without any pillars or fences.
Yeah, it's just
It's like playing on a violent ship. It's just like, dude, like mind your step.
I guess, but like if it's a big enough rock, you can.
Yeah. But anyway, they say
Again, I don't know why we're talking about the structural integrity of a movie where someone can be flattened by a giant rock
Jaguar,
and be like, I'm fine. It's,
So yeah, then the Jaguar goes over the edge. I think.
No, yeah, it lands on the pier with Sekil Khan on it, that breaks and it falls down the wall. It
the
falls down
whirlpool.
the whirlpool of death, and you see him getting dragged through the under, like a riptide underneath the water, hitting rocks. And I was like, that was the point when I watched it, dude.
Yeah, I was like,
where I was like, that's a great film death. Fuck this, like, this is a satisfying death.
So that's a
And
good
what's
death.
the next scene?
Yeah, it's like that's-
Fade to black. Comes back and he fucking pops out the
Yeah.
water. Why did this oak need gods? Like,
No, you're so alive after all that, and it's also as a kid, I was like, hey, when it's dead, this is the end of the movie. Is it? Fuck.
yeah, I don't know.
So he gets washed away, and everyone's like, woo, the bad guy the guy that could make snakes his whole life was actually a bad person.
Exactly, the man wearing bones on his face was actually a bad guy.
Like, he was not on top of like that man came to my wedding.
He's marrying people.
He
He's like,
gave my sister her first novel. It's like I know this man. He makes the best potato salad at the barbecue.
I'm just imagining like he's giving a sermon and everyone's like, oh, church on Sunday, I can't wait for Sekil Khan to like bring a demon out of the walls and like, but it's gonna be a life lesson. And like he's a priest, right? He's marrying people. He's standing. He's marrying people, and so he said there, do you take her? Do you take? By the way, you're pieces of shit because you're humans, and God's gonna come one day and rain hellfire on you. I hope you have kids. You know, like what the hell? But anyway, dude. Yeah, I bet the audience has forgotten that Cortez was in this movie earlier.
Yeah. Did you think
Because he's found.
Because at this stage, I was just like, when I first saw it, I was like, who the fuck is this man?
Yeah.
Because you see him once at the start of the movie for like 10 seconds.
And here's the thing, he's a great villain. I feel like it was unused potential. That's what that. See, I like this movie like you do.
Yeah.
I am a big fan. I like a charismatic villain. He has a great intro with a great soundtrack, and he's like having this monologue about my men were chosen by the disciples of Christ. You know, and it's just like, ooh, this is like a Frollo type. This guy's gonna be intense and real, and people are gonna like die. You know. But anyways, he's seen once, but then he comes back at the end, and Sekil Khan, because he popped out the water, he went through these rapids that took him sort of a quarter of the way away from El Dorado.
Yeah, like just like pretty close by, just and then that kind of ravine before that waterfall curtain, he ends up there.
Yeah, the from the journey to El Dorado, and then from the road, and that's another thing. It's called the road to El Dorado.
Yeah,
right?
it's not much of a road.
It's not much of a road. It's like a montage.
It's like a stranded island, and then like, if anything, it's a pathway.
Why didn't you just call it El Dorado? Like the movie. Yeah.
Because there's already a movie called El Dorado. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like at most it's a pathway. Like how dare they call that a road?
Exactly.
Like you can only put 2 feet next to each other at a time. And what fucking car?
Yeah,
I mean, I know it's 1800, but like that's not a road.
Yeah, I do think it's 1700, but it's irrelevant.
Or 1700.
I don't know why.
Well, then that's even fucking worse.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's quite ambitious. Like, hey, this path looks more like a road to me. What's a path, man? I mean, what's a road, man? I
don't know. I'm from. I'm just a white guy from Spain.
He's looking for some gold shit.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a golden city. I mean, that's logical. Yeah, just look up for the guy who makes snakes out of his fingers. Whatever, I see that at church on Sundays as well.
Is that what happened with you and the priest? There were snakes out of his fingers.
Yeah, well, that's what he told
to
me. I was in arts and crafts. Well, let me say, it was green like a snake afterwards.
Yeah, so speaking of, so Cortez is still in the movie, and Jesus.
He finds Sekil Khan, and then he's like,
yeah, and then Sekil Khan is like, hey, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
You know,
because again, the man who can bring rock monsters to life, he sees a buff dude in metal and goes,
oh, this will do the trick.
This guy's the guy. But
Like, you can kill people with magic hands. Like,
I do think, okay, mate, here's the thing. I do think at this point it's sort of implied that his magic is, because remember there was that pool? I think like he has to keep drinking.
Oh no, he is weak now, yeah.
Yeah, he has to drink it and then he gets magical powers for an indeterminate amount of time.
So now this stage he's like weak.
Yeah, for a finite amount of time if he drinks the shit. And he has none of that now and he's been fucked up. So I think he's just a human being now. So he's going to lead them to El Dorado and then some scout from El Dorado sees them coming and and at this point obviously Miguel and Tulio have broken up because Tulio wants to go back to Spain with all the gold in the boat with Chell, and Miguel wants to stay because, like, I guess, you know, they had a shitty life in Spain, why go back, stay here. Then the scout comes saying, hey, Cortez and Sekil Khan are coming, come back here.
These guys, they don't look...
Yeah.
like you thought that guy was bad.
Yeah, the guy put a rock monster, there's people with knives.
Yeah, the guy who made a rock come to life, you know, fuck him. These men have metal.
Oh my god, yeah, like holy shit, we have giant turtles in the water that could like eat this whole army, but this guy's got a sword.
So then he leads the Cortez people to El Dorado for revenge.
Cortez wants to conquer it. Tikal's doing this.
But what does Sekil Khan gain? Oh, he thinks he's gonna be the high priest still, or something.
No. His whole thing throughout the movie was to like, he just wanted to punish these people. They wanted to fuck them up because he's an evil sadistic.
Oh, so like he isn't gaining anything. He's just like, hey, what are you? Fuck you. Like, why? No reason.
No, because he thinks mortals are beneath him,
He thinks
he's like the God's servant as a sort of. I think that's probably an excuse he came up with for his life to excuse the fact that he's just sadistic and he wants to fuck people up, because he thinks Cortez is a god. And he wants the gods to smite these innocent people, so he's happy to lead them back because they'll fuck up the city.
Yeah.
That's why. So
I know, because then by this stage Miguel was gonna stay, and Tulio was gonna. So Miguel was actually gonna stay in El Dorado, and Tulio was gonna leave with Cheryl and all the money.
Yes.
So this was a decision they made.
Yeah, and they're trying to get out through this boat, and
the one that goes horizontal for some time, and then when you're not looking, it
goes up. It's a great excuse they come up with. I mean, really, like we can't do justice how much great banter these two characters have. Great characters.
Go watch this movie.
You gotta watch it.
This is something I'd say, like,
honestly, like this is a more
if you ever do this again, we might talk about movies that are terrible, and we'll say it.
If you're one of those, I'll say this: if you're not one of those nostalgic Disney people like we are that watched all this stuff growing up, and you're not a fan of animated movies because like you haven't grown up with them, so you find them a bit schmaltzy. Watch this movie; like it's definitely more adult, I'd say.
Oh no, it's definitely that. Okay, yeah.
The characters.
If you're not keen on with the like,
there's not many musical numbers. There's one.
And there's a few. It's like there's a few songs.
There's songs, but they're backgrounds. Look, if you're not a fan of musical.
Oh no, it's just background music.
Yeah. Like there's one part where they sing, but it's worth it. It's a really good song. And their banter, as we say, it's like really good. It's the humor, the jokes land solidly for all ages. It's not like coochie jokes, you know.
But yeah, so anyway, Cortez is coming in.
More like El Dorado, sorry.
So and now Miguel is initially going to say, and Tulio's like, look, it's your last chance, and then no, because Cortez comes in and starts fucking shit up. And,
he's gonna get there too, because they have to get through the waterfall to get there. But they so they
realize. And then so they realize that they take the boat.
We have to, if we force this boat into pillars.
So we like go through this one cave sideways, it'll break pillars.
And the pillars will cause the cave to collapse over the only entrance to El Dorado. And then they can't get in, and they'll also maybe think that it's not there because it just looks like a pile of rocks. Yeah, it's sort of because to get El Dorado, you have to go through a waterfall that's in a cave, and you get out the other side of the cave in El Dorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. But then, so they make rapids or something to make
Yeah,
sure
by
they-
breaking a giant pillar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they decide at the last minute, and Miguel's like, actually, no, I'm gonna come with you. So, and this is when the fact I kind of like lets them know like I know you're not gods, but he's something like, oh, if you do this, you won't be able to come back. And Miguel's like, no, I'm gonna stay with my friend and do
Yeah.
the gold. Just luckily the gold as well, but.
No, that's the thing. The gold is going to get fucked up anyway. They lose it all, remember?
Oh yeah, but they're doing this. Oh yeah, they're purely gonna do this.
To save the
talking
people.
Shit, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. We watched this like a while back.
Yeah, so they know they're not gonna get back, and they're gonna stop Cortez from coming in. And so they're like, you know what, this is great. You guys deserve to live your life. We'll do ours. They crash the pillars. The cave. It caves in, and then Sakul Khan leads Cortez to
a pile of rocks. Now.
So then they're like, fuck you.
And then they decide to execute him.
They kill him.
And then Cortez and them go the wrong way. Which is like, okay, so that solves that problem.
Yeah.
And then the horse, Miguel, Tulio, and Chell, they've all survived this miraculous.
Yeah, there's like intense somehow like the water becomes raging fast, and then like they nearly die.
Yeah, because the pillar lands and it just goes clank. Then they all decide to go back to El Dorado, because even though Chell really wanted, she really wanted to go to Spain, but she was like, whatever, I guess, you know, if those are the people from Spain, they're dickheads or whatever.
They don't go back, do they? They can't go back.
They say they could find another way in.
Yeah.
Yeah, or something. I think that's what they say, and then they decide, like, as long as we're together.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun.
Then there's they're like, okay, now they're like, we got here by like being shipwrecked. So it's like, they're like, which way now? And then it's like the trail we blaze. And like
Yeah, it's like Tulio has now embraced Miguel's free.
Yeah, it's like the trail.
Don't be cynical. On the trail we blaze here. Something like that. There's a great scene. It's probably one of my favorite scenes. Is like when they all get up and the gold's gone. Tulio's like, that was so much gold, and the horse has got golden.
Horseshoes.
Horseshoes.
Yeah, like,
and he picks them up, and then he looks at them, and then he puts it down like, I'm gonna keep these. Like, what's a horse gonna do with gold?
He's gonna have like, I don't know, he's gonna buy a mansion for his horse wife and all that. It's just, but yeah, no, it's it comes across as a kids film, but it's definitely something to be enjoyed. Like,
so you would recommend it then?
100%. I'd say definitely watch this. Like, again, like Jared says, the humor's very dry. Feel good ending. The bad guys get what they deserve. The good guys win. There's adult jokes, man. Like, I mean, like, your kid wants to watch. Like, if you have a kid, watch it with your kid, because he'll enjoy it for this way, and you'll enjoy it for this way. So.
Yeah, exactly. I guess the story is somewhat generic, in a way. It's sort of like your adventure thing. Find the thing. People are after the thing. It's very. Indiana Jones 2 in a way, as far as plot's concerned.
Yeah.
So you don't have to get that reference, but like the plot's kind of generic, but that's not the reason you watch it. It's still fun. You watch it because the lead characters they feel real, even though it's a kids movie. Like, it's great. They have this banter and
they're actual people.
Yeah, and they're just like, I am Miguel.
I am Tulio.
And they call us Miguel and Tulio. It's great.
That's good.
Yeah,
Definitely watch it.
You will enjoy it. So yeah, we did. This is our first time doing this. Would we have like a rating? Because I don't really.
I don't like rating movies, man.
I just like going, watch it or don't. You know,
Yeah, like,
do whatever the fuck you want.
do it.
Like,
I don't give a fuck, man. Let's just watch it. Like, no, ratings are hard because you can rate it on different numbers for different things. Just like watch it and enjoy it like for what it is. You know, like sometimes there'll be bad movies, but we're like, just watch it and have fun. So this one, definitely watch it. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna waste your time if you watch it.
That's the thing about these things. Like, reviews are always interesting, but they don't matter because like you're just gonna like a movie or you're not gonna like a movie. But we're saying
what we like.
What we like, and if you like those same things, maybe you'll like this movie.
But yeah, just watch the fucking movie.
Yeah, just do it, you fuckers.